Yo, what is up, guys? Yesterday, EA decided to release a gameplay trailer that I have not seen yet. I saw it pop up all over my timelines and all over my YouTube subscription feeds and all that. I saw people making reactions from all the way from like Not the Expert to Angry Joe Show. So decided I was just gonna do a blind react to it and kind of see what the gameplay says for it. And yeah, let's just head on right into it. Where is it? It's right there. There we go. Let's do a full screen that. And then I think I should be fine about that size. Yeah. Okay.
Hey everyone, Kirk Herbstreit here, and welcome to the official EA Sports College Football 25 Gameplay Deep Dive. Today's focus is on the exciting new Campus IQ gameplay feature set, which includes the new wear and tear system, player abilities, home field advantage, unique playbooks, and a host of new mechanics that deliver the explosive, fast-paced gameplay unique to college football. Let's get into it. The new wear and tear system changes how you approach every snap. Wear and tear is a progressive player health system that prioritizes strategic substitutions and diverse play calling to keep your players healthy. With wear and tear, every hit matters, but not.
Okay, so it seems they're adding a new injury type of system, which I can't recall if this has been in any previous EA games. There may have been one that I'm just blanking on, but okay, so far that looks new. It's good that they're implementing subs a lot more and something like college football, because in college football, subs are used a lot more often
Not
than
all
in the
hits have the
NFL.
same impact, and a single hit, like a blow to a quarterback's throwing arm, can change everything, just like it can in real life. Every hit scales differently and will have unique effects on a.
Okay, let's see. We can tear, we can tear, we can tear. Oh, that's wear and tear. I don't know why were those weak. Was that increased high severe severe?
Player's performance as damage and fatigue add up over the course of a game. Managing wear and tear is critical to your team's success, both in a single game and over the course of a season. In EA Sports College Football 25, we're introducing both.
Okay, player abilities. So okay, so there are going to be abilities. I did read that there weren't going to be any X factors, which I'm grateful for. But I'm curious to see how these abilities are actually going to work.
both mental and physical player.
I know some of these are straight out of like Madden, even though I don't play a lot of Madden, but I watch enough people play Madden to know like I'm assuming KO is probably a like knockout artist or knockout KO or whatever that one's called in Terminator. That sounds vaguely familiar. Let's see. Cutter. Pretty sure there's just a different name for it in like Madden 24. That looks like fuck what is it called? Is it safety box? Or the one that's like it boosts your spec catch ability? Lockbox, I think that one's called, something like that. Um was that Dashing Deadeye? I think that one is, or the one Madden's called. Uh Yeah, I think those are the ones that I can kind of recall. I might be also a little wrong because, like I said, I don't really play any of the newer Maddens that much, just because they're complete dog shit. But let's continue.
Abilities that help separate highly skilled players.
Okay, 360 spin, blow up, disruptor, balance, best friend, ball hawk, blanket coverage. I think that's like an X Factor or something like that. And Madden, Class Pro, jump quick, focused kicker, pretty sure that's also in Madden. It makes sense that some of the abilities that are in Madden are also going to be imported into this game. But it looks like they gave some of them different names or different things. Adrenaline. I'm pretty sure that's just the same thing. There's probably gonna be the same thing as like Energizer. Um, Aftershock, Backspin, Chip Shots, Grip Breaker, Jackpot. Okay.
From untested freshmen. In contrast to the pros where superstar talent is generally balanced across the league, the player abilities in college were designed to showcase the overall discrepancy in player and team skill level. Physical abilities boost attributes like breaking tackles or can provide protection from wear and tear. Mental abilities enhance intangible traits like leadership, pre-snap clarity at the line of scrimmage, and staying calm under pressure. Here you can see the stadium pulse meter is...
Okay, so it looks like there are going to be different perks that affect different things. With them obviously saying that the one affects like field general, them saying that it'll affect line of scrimmage communications, which I'm assuming it also have some effect on being able to call routes as fast as you can, which will be a mental intangible thing. And then obviously there was the physical one they showed earlier with the downhill runner, which was what, right here? Yeah, downhill runner. Yeah, downhill. And the mental things of field general, pre-snap alignments. So looks like that's should be pretty useful. But I remember also reading that they were going to put implementations in to make 5 stars feel different from like a 3-star, for example. But hope it's not like too overpowered, where like 5 stars just completely dominate. Because obviously, in real life, sometimes two, sometimes 4, 3, even some 2 stars just completely ball out or are phenomenal. Then you have the rare cases that are like 1 or even like no 0 stars that like walk on that do amazingly well. Like Baker Mayfield is a walk on, but those are obviously like once in a generation, or I guess like once in a draft class. Not even once in a draft class, maybe even like once in a generation type thing. But at least in college, it's a lot more common.
intangible trait.
Let's see where we were right there.
Here you can see the stadium pulse meter is maxed out, but the visiting quarterback does not have the mental ability, headstrong, which provides...
Okay, so now they're talking about certain. So this one, obviously, they mentioned headstrong and how since they're in an opposing stadium, everything kind of gets really wacky, which makes sense because I believe in NCAA 14, my memory's correct. Certain atmospheres and certain situations would cause your quarterback to just forget the play or like vaguely remember it.
Provides resistance to distractions. The visiting quarterback here does have headstrong active, so he can see the field more clearly and will be less prone to mistakes for this play. A player can have up to 8 abilities, and they can scale in effectiveness, providing situational advantages throughout a game that ignite the dynamic and unpredictable moments that make college football so exciting. From Tiger Stadium to Happy Valley, we're pumping the sights and sounds of the most iconic and daunting home field environments right into your living room. And with...
Okay, so yeah, this is the part I was talking about when I did my first reaction to the announcement. The home field advantage, the home field celebrations. Let's see, because obviously they showed the Texas Bowl. Not, oh, it's not a fucking. It is a kind of a bull, I guess. Longhorn, not really bull. I am tired right now. I kind of just woke up, but got the Longhorn there, and then the Pitt Panther dunk. Let's see if I can find the one right before it. Oh, I guess they just showed a little bit of Colorado.
living room. And with home field advantage, the host team has the upper hand. As the visiting team, you'll face various degrees of home field advantages impacting confidence and composure levels, on-field performance, and more. Home field advantage will disorient players with lower composure levels more than it will for the level-headed players. Decisions like audibles and hot routes will become more difficult because these stadiums will be rocking. So it's more important than ever to keep your team in manageable down and distance
Okay, so
situations. With 134 FBS teams to choose from in EA Sports College Football 25, the wide range of play styles is something you can't experience anywhere else. From wide splits in Oklahoma, to the triple option at Air Force, to Michigan's dominant ground game, the playbook variety makes for unique matchups every game. Fake out your rivals with new user reverse handoffs, explore the new option game, and other new trick plays. With more teams throwing the ball all over the field.
okay, so I'm curious what is the extent to the custom playbooks. So obviously they mentioned that earlier, and they mentioned new playbooks that are different from standard Madden playbooks, which is nice to see. Because obviously in college you see a lot more wild shit. But let's continue.
College Football 25's revamped passing mechanic adds control and variation to every dropback. To expand player variation at quarterback, we focused on tuning situational throws and an array of new trajectories that will provide more passing control with a timed button press.
Okay, so new animations and hopefully what would be a better mechanical system for throwing.
Other new gameplay mechanics will give you more control
Fuck, I'm sorry.
before and after the snap. Adjust the length of your primary route with custom stems. Switch players directionally with the new switch stick for post-snap control. Master the new kicking meter and call a number of new hot routes at the line.
Okay, that's interesting. So let's see. Here they talk about using the switch meter to change.
Switch players directionally with the new switch stick for post-snap control.
Okay.
Master the new kicking meter.
This kicking meter is really interesting because it's a mix of kind of the old and new kicking meters, it looks like. Because obviously they have the arrow, which is reminiscent of the older games of like the 20 fuck it was like mid to late 2000s, early 2010s. Trying to remember if the early 2000s if they had the kicking meter like this. I'm pretty sure they did. But this is like the old school style meter, kind of just in a slightly different UI setup.
Meter and call a number of new hot routes at the line.
Number of new hot routes. Custom stem? I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's just a custom hot route you can set to a certain position or a player, like a custom 4. And then all these look fairly standard. Flat hitch.
For more on gameplay and playbooks, check out the Campus Huddle blog. Subscribe today to get the latest EA.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, so I mean, overall, like looking through it, they talk about some of the new things, player abilities, stuff like that. The new wear and tear system, which I might be remembering incorrectly because I'm kind of just going off the dome a little bit. Especially because I haven't played any of the newer Maddens, and some of my knowledge on the older Maddens are a bit rusty since I haven't touched most of them since I was a kid. Besides, like the occasional like few season go back and play type thing. Sorry for yawning so much. Just kind of been really tired as of late. But because let's see, that's what wear and tear, abilities, and then there's physical and mental abilities, which can be affected by stadium pulse, which is basically the home field effect and stuff like that. So that's the gameplay stuff. But I am a little curious to see how this will all affect Road to Glory and like Dynasty. Is that what they called it? Did they call it Dynasty? Was it called Dynasty? I should know if it was called Dynasty or not. I've played NCAA 14 so fucking much, but at the same time, Dynasty franchise, sometimes it's interchangeable with franchises, different sports games. So here they mention uh, different playbook styles, which, like I said earlier, in college you see a lot more wild shit and a lot of completely different type of play styles. And they also mentioned custom playbooks, which is something that I did do in NCAA 14 a lot, where I would take a playbook of a school that I was going to, and then I would switch certain things out to include more setup plays, because setup plays are cheesy as fuck, especially if you get the upgrades for them and the coaching tree and that stuff. Like, oh my god, those things are an absolute killer, especially when you're working with a school that's not great and you need every advantage you can. So having those setup plays is just phenomenal. But revamped passing, yep. And here is the supposed new animations and passing structure, which, I mean, EA will always say, oh, new animations this, new animations that. But we have to wait until we actually get our hands on the copy. Damn, I might need to go fucking take a nap right now. God damn. But yeah, and then kind of new retro style kicking meter. That's interesting. Scoreboards are kind of just basic because one of the things you'll notice that they didn't get the rights for ESPN in this, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I'm sure they probably could have paid them a decent amount of money for it, but I guess it may have also just been a situation where ESPN didn't want to pay for it full time, or didn't want to, or not full time, but I guess ESPN probably asked for a crazy amount of money, which, I mean, for one of the most anticipated sports games ever, yeah, it makes sense they'd want to ask for a giant chunk of change. But I think it's one of those things where, depending on how well this does, maybe ESPN might come back, or they might renegotiate with ESPN and bring them back. Because like there are going to be a few things missing from this. Like one of the things that I read on a post about some of the things that aren't and aren't included in NCAA 25 is that, like, for example, Road to Glory doesn't start in high school anymore, which, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it was cool, but I don't think it's a huge killer. And I also think it's going to be one of those like small things that they'll just add into next year's. Be like, oh, we brought back high school to try and be like, oh, it's new and improved. And then the other thing is mascot mode. It is a shame that mascot mode isn't in there. That was my favorite game mode growing up. Mascot mode was so like stupidly hilarious. That's not gonna be in this game. I guarantee you, it's probably gonna be in the next game. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look, we added mascot mode due to popular demand," when they should have had it here. Um, Either way, actually, you know what? Let me go back real quick because so far, according to the like and dislike ratio on this, 52,000 likes to 1,800 or 1,800 dislikes. Toledo. Cry. Okay, yep. Obviously, a lot of people are being very optimistic about this, very happy about it. It's good to see them talk about this stuff, but it's also curious. There's a lot of things I'm curious about. Like I said, some of these things, where things that could be affected through the coach's skill tree. I wonder how that's going to work with all the new player abilities they're going to add. Also, that you can only have up to 8 per. So I wonder if there'll also be a situation where like you get someone like you get this 5-star, he gets like really bad um abilities or intangibles, but then you have like a 3-star that has these fantastic ones, and you're just in a situation where you got to start the 3-star over the 5-star, which I mean is sometimes like real life, like I said earlier, where sometimes you have these guys who are very low scouted, low recruited. They just come out and ball like Justin Jefferson. I think it was like a 2-star recruit or something like that, some crazy like that. But um, I still have, I'm still very optimistic about it. Um, Again, this like gameplay deep dive is just them be like, oh, these are the features that are gonna be in the game. They do this with Madden all the time. Um, Most sports games will pretty much always do stuff like this, which besides for like the wear and tear, them having a more in-depth home field advantage system and like celebration practice from what it appears, and then the character abilities, the player abilities as well, and these supposed new animations, I think will make the game interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much my live reaction to it. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.